Yes people, what's going on? Welcome to AdamMcKola TV. We are back with another video, and today we are looking at the latest reports surrounding Jadon Sancho and Paul Pogba. We've been here before, we'll be here again. We're going to be discussing these guys for an awfully long time until these deals become official or we find out what's going on either way. And we have got loads to get stuck into today on the Jadon Sancho front, as everybody is reporting that Manchester United have officially begun talks with Borussia Dortmund. Some are saying that personal terms have been agreed with Jadon Sancho, although they've been saying that since last summer and they've been pretty consistent in that. But the fact that talks have officially begun with Dortmund, according to these reports, could be signs we're one step closer to, of course, seeing an end to this saga, although no bid has yet to be accepted by Manchester United. We've also got talks about Paul Pogba's new contract. We've got a few quotes from him and some reports saying that talks have begun between Manchester United and his agent in terms of a new contract. So we'll be going through all of that as well. I want you guys to get your comments in the comments below on everything that we discussed today. And of course, let us know what you think about these two stories. But first up, before I do that, make sure you're hitting that subscribe button. We're trying to hit 110k by the end of this month, and with your help, I can do that. So if you're not subscribed yet, and it's still got a red button down there which says subscribe, get hitting that button right now. Anyway, let's get stuck into some of these stories. In relation to Jadon Sancho, Fabrizio Romano today was discussing the story and said Manchester United reached an agreement with Sancho's camp on personal terms until 2026. Jadon is not creating any problem. So the issue with, or the non-issue with terms, is clear. The terms will get done as soon as a fee is agreed between the two clubs. That contract will get signed. He says negotiations are now starting with Borussia Dortmund. 95 million euros is the price. No agreement yet. Manchester United now feel Sancho is closer, as Jan-Arg Fjortoft has said. Jan-Arg Fjortoft on the story had said, let me just find that one here, that Manchester United and Borussia Dortmund are 20 million euros apart for the fixed fee for Jadon Sancho. Now, I saw a lot of people getting mad saying, United getting a bid rejected. You expect the first bid to be rejected. Now, the problem will be is if in 2 weeks we're still stalling around and fumbling around, hopefully we follow that up with another bid immediately. And you can imagine Jadon Sancho's camp are probably getting fed up with all of this. The player himself's probably getting fed up with all of this. They'll all be getting fed up with it. We've got the deadline of July, and Borussia Dortmund, as we know, will stick to that deadline. So Manchester United have to get the deal done. If terms are agreed with the player's causing no issue, with 20 million euros apart in the fee, then you'd imagine that will be resolved quite soon. It's probably just United trying to get as much as possible off the upfront payment in order to try and invest more elsewhere this summer, because it's clear we still need to do other business. Bild also discussed the story, and they were saying the biggest transfer hammer, it's funny how these stories are translated from German to English, is taking shape. Is everything going very quickly now, they question. According to Bild, Manchester United are finally getting serious about Jadon Sancho and has made a first official offer to Dortmund. So not only have you got, Jan-Arg Fjortoft, Fabrizio Romano and Bild on it, you've also got Sam Pilger, who says Manchester United and Jadon Sancho are in agreement, but a fee with Dortmund still to be worked out. This deal is getting close. And Konstantin Enkner, who's over there in Germany as well, reports a lot on German football, said personal terms are never really the issue with Sancho and Man United. They basically had an agreement over that last year. The question is how hard Man United will try to lower the price until Dortmund and them finalise the deal. This transfer saga will be over this summer. And when you hear, statements like that, it makes you feel relief as a Man United fan. But it obviously shows that this should get done soon, man. And we've been here before, so let's not count our chickens. We know what our club's like. We know what they can do in negotiations. We know they can begin to mess about. But if we can get Jadon Sancho wrapped up in the next couple of weeks, get that signing done, then out of our three main signings that we need to make, a right winger, a DM and a centre back, you've got one of them done. probably your most expensive one. Now you can look elsewhere at that DM position, at that centre-back position. A lot of talk about Varane potentially joining United. There was talk about Declan Rice in the Athletic, although United have other options in that position, and the price of Declan Rice could force them to look elsewhere. You saw similar with Chelsea as well. So we need to get those positions sorted. We're hearing about Tom Heaton as a replacement for Lee Grant and Joel Pereira and Sergio Romero and all that. We're hearing about potentially Kieran Trippier coming in for a nominal fee around 20 million euros. If you were to add that to Jadon Sancho at the start of the window, and then you're looking at possibly filling those other two spots, you know, and whatever outgoings you can get and the money you can get in for them could potentially strengthen who you can bring in those positions. It'd be a good start to the summer. And for this new shake-up that we've seen in terms of the structure of things and John Murtough and all these different people coming in, it could hopefully be a sign of positive things to come. But they need to back it up, and hopefully we'll see an end to these deals. We're also hearing Paul Pogba has opened discussions with Manchester United. Paul Pogba's representatives have opened discussions with Manchester United over a new contract that was coming from Sky. Paul Pogba was asked about it in a Euros press conference today for France. He was asked about Paris Saint-Germain, as you'd expect, being in the French media, playing for France, capital, biggest team in France, at least financially. They say contacts with Paris. He said there's a year left on my contract. Everybody knows that. I haven't had a concrete offer to renew. I haven't sat down with the directors and the manager. I'm still at Manchester United. My only thought now is the Euros. I'm focused. I've got more experience than before. I'm focused on the present, the Euros. I have an agent that deals with all that. I don't have Nasser Al-Khelaifi's number, who I believe is the owner for PSG. So he's doubt that, as you'd expect. He's not going to give too much away in terms of negotiations on Manchester United's contract. And that interview was done today. At the same time, the story broke in relation to discussions with his representatives. So does that mean the discussions with his representatives aren't happening? Well, probably not, because, like I say, he's not going to weaken his hand. And if both those things, what time was that interview done? When did that story break? If you look at all that, it could have begun today. The talks could have, if that story is correct. But I'm not reading too much into that. You'd expect Pogba to kind of keep his cards close to his chest, especially when in contract negotiations. That's how these footballers are. They are businesses within themselves, and they want to get the best deal for themselves. As for Manchester United, if Paul Pogba doesn't sign a contract this summer, we need to be looking to ship him off, because we can't be letting him really go for a free. If he stays, is he going to sign a new deal? Like, you got to try and get the deal sorted in this transfer window. Otherwise, you're kind of going to have to take a knockdown price to let him go, and potentially look elsewhere. I've said it before. If Pogba left, I'd love to get someone like Jack Grealish in at the club. And there are moves that we could make happen. Obviously, my priority would be to see Paul Pogba sign a new contract, stay at Manchester United, get Jadon Sancho in, get a DM, a centre-back, Varane, Pau Torres have been discussed. Someone like that. Maybe bolster the squad with your likes of Trippiers and that, and go into next season, because keeping Paul Pogba could be massive for the club, especially in addition to those signings. And him signing a new deal or having talks may be dependent on us strengthening and bringing in those players this summer. So I expect that one will drag on maybe a little bit longer into the summer, but fingers crossed this Jadon Sancho one can be done very, very soon. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Make sure you're liking, commenting, sharing and subscribing. I'm AdamMcKola. I'm out of here.